Hi guys, welcome to lesson 14, evaluating expressions with exponents. Let's look at our learning targets for today. We have, I know how to evaluate expressions that have both an exponent and addition or subtraction. And I know how to evaluate expressions that have both an exponent and multiplication or division. Alright, 14.1 says revisiting the cube. Based on the information that we have, what other measurements of the square and cube could we find? So take a moment to think about that, pause the video, try and think of what other measurements we could find. Okay, for the square, we could find a couple things. We could find its area, which is length times width, and we know that our length and width are 4. So we could do 4 times 4 and get 16. Or we could do 4 squared, which is also 16. The reason it's called 4 squared is because squares have a length and width that are the same. And so you are just multiplying the number by itself. And so that's why that is called squared. Another thing you could have thought of is perimeter, which would be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And it's not going to equal to 4 squared, which is 16. It's actually going to equal to, it's going to equal 16 as well, but that's just a coincidence. That's not always the case. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 4 plus 4, which is 8, and it's going to equal 16. Okay. My gosh. Sorry, you guys, I got distracted by Fern. Anyway, for the cube, we could figure out the volume of the cube. So if you guys remember way back to when we did geometry, volume is length times width times height. And in a cube, they are all the same. So we have 4 times 4 times 4, or 4 cubed. That is why they call that cubed. Because in a cube, all 3 dimensions are the same, and you multiply them together. So the volume is going to be 4 cubed, or 16 times 4, which is 64. You also could have found surface area, which if you guys remember way back, surface area is when you find the area of each side and then you add them all together. So we know that 4 times 4 is 16, and so each face of this cube is equal to 16, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and so we have 16 times 6, and that's going to give us our surface area. Okay, that's just a quick review of some other things that we can calculate with our shapes. Let's go ahead and move to 14.2. Okay, Jada, a cube has a side length of 10 inches. Okay. Remember, cubes have all of their dimensions the same, so its side length is 10 inches. Jada says that the surface area of the cube is 600 inches squared. And Noah says that the surface area of the cube is 3,600 inches squared. Here is how each of them reasoned. Okay, so Jada's method is that she took 6 and she multiplied it by 10 squared. And the reason she did that is because one face has side lengths of 10 times 10, or 10 squared, and that there's 6 of them, okay? Noah did the same thing over here, so both of them started the same. Then she went ahead and solved this, and she got 100. So she did 6 times 100, and then she ended up with 600 as her answer. Okay, Noah started out the same way. He did 6 times 10 squared, and then somehow he got 60 squared. So what he did is he did 6 times 10 first and got 60, and then squared it. So I want to remind you guys of our order of operations. PEMDAS. Okay, so PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So as you can see in our order of operations, exponents comes before multiplication. So when he did this, when he did the 6 times 10 first, that is wrong because of PEMDAS. PEMDAS is the order in which you need to do your operations. So you always solve the exponent before you multiply or divide. The exponent, remember, is the squared symbol. So we can tell from that Noah's method was not correct because he did not follow his order of operations. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put Noah was incorrect because of order of operations. Okay. 14.3. Evaluate the expressions in one of the columns. Okay, this is another partner thing. You guys don't have a partner, so just do both columns. It says that your answers in each row should be the same. If they're not the same, work together to find the error. So just try and solve them on your own and know that the ones across should be the same answer. And so if you're not getting the same answer, you're doing something wrong on one of them. All right, 5 squared plus 4. Actually, I have a better idea. I am going to do this column, and you are going to do this column. Okay, so pause the video and solve your column, and then unpause it and compare to my column. See, that's much better. We don't need a partner. I'll be your partner. So go ahead and pause it now and unpause when you're done. All right. I hope that you tried these on your own, the U column. I'm going to go ahead and do the me column. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is equal to 25, plus 4 equals 29. All right. Notice how I did my exponents before I did my addition. Okay, 2 to the 4th power times 5. So 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16, times 5. 16 times 5 is 80. Next one, 3 times 4 squared. So 4 squared is 16. 3 times 16 is the same thing as 48. Okay. 20 plus 2 cubed. So 2 cubed is 8. 20 plus 8 is 28. Okay, 9 times 2 to the first. Well, 2 to the first is the same thing as 2, and 9 times 2 is 18. All right, last one. 1/9 times 1/2 cubed. So 1/2 cubed is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. And we are going to get 1/8 times 1/9. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 times 9 is 72. Okay, hopefully you got the same answers on your side. If not, I'll go over them now so that you can see what you did wrong. But please do not watch this if you have not done your part yet. Okay. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 25 is equal to 29. That's a match. 2 cubed is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 10 is 80. Yay, another match. Okay. We have 12 times 2 squared, or 12 times 4, which is equal to 48. All right, 1 plus 3 cubed. 3 cubed is the same thing as 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, plus 1 is 28. 3 times 6 to the first power. So 6 times to the first power is just 6. Times 3 is 18. And last one, we have 1/3 squared, or 1/3 times 1/3, which is 1/9, times 1/8, which, look, is exactly the same as what we did here, 1/72. Okay, I hope you guys were able to do that, and thank you for being my partner. Just a quick review, really quickly, in case you were confused about order of operations. I'm not sure if you learned them in 5th grade, but PEMDAS is the order of operations. That was like a song. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I will give extra credit to anyone who makes an order of operations rap or song or dance to help us remember this. But this is always what you do first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So for instance, if you have a problem that looks like this, the very first thing you do is the parentheses, and so that would be 2 plus 2, which is 4. Then the next thing you would do is the exponent, which is the squared, and get 16. Then the last thing you would do is the multiplication, and then you would do 16 times 3, which we don't actually need to solve it, but just always remember this order of operations. It's especially important as you're getting into more and more complicated algebra. Yeah, I hope you guys are feeling good about this. Please reach out if not.